When Christmas came, I was just proud of it, because it was the most fun time, for us because we didn't have that much, but at Christmas time, it with the family and food, and maybe we would get a toy apiece, and then the stockings. Most of the time we would go to our grandmother's house, and she lived in town, and she had a Christmas tree.
When the holiday was coming up, they started to cook a week early because we had the wood stove. They didn't have the good stuff now. But anyway, they started baking early. And that was our favorite part, and they would give us cookies to keep us out of the way. We always got a box each with an apple, an orange, and that ribbon Christmas candy. And because we didn't have candy often, and we looked forward to that on Christmas Day.
Born in 1926, and if people know that in May 29 and up through 35, there's a crash, and the banks have lost all their money. Everybody, the country went bankrupt, and it was a rough time. And of course, I had 3 brothers and 6 sisters. You make stuff of your own, and like others have said, they string popcorn together, and you just the family get together and enjoy the time of fellowship and decorating the trees and all that. You just done the best you could with what you had. My dad always had put food on the table, and we never did have to do without anything to eat. Sometimes it wasn't a whole lot, but we always had food on the table.
There's one Christmas stands out with me more than any other Christmas that I can remember. I was 8 years old, year 1942. There was 6 of us kids. So a few days before Christmas, we'd go out on the farm looking for us a tree. And we always find us a cedar tree. And sometimes it was not close to the house. I was talking to my sister a few days ago, and she said she can still remember us dragging those trees. So anyway, found some sweet gum balls on a sweet gum tree, and we would find a holly tree someplace or a red berry tree, and we'd pick a lot of berries. And my oldest sister they would take a needle and thread these berries and make a long string of berries to hang on a tree. The chain, the holly berries that we made, we would string these on a string with a needle and thread. My sisters made these most of the time. These are real berries here. I picked them in my yard the other day. Then we made this chain that we would hang on our tree. We would take a coloring crayon and paint some of it different, some of it white.
There was 5 girls and 4 boys. And the tradition was the boys went with Daddy to the woods to cut the tree and drag it home. And then when they got it to the house and they got it set up, then it was our mom and the girls that did the decorating. We didn't have electricity to begin with, but when we got our first star that lit up by electricity, that was just amazing to us, just to have our first star on the top of the tree that actually shined by a light. She always had 3 cakes, and there would be like a 4 or 5 layer cake. She always had a chocolate, a coconut, and a pineapple. Of course, she cooked them on a wood stove too. We'd have chicken and dressing or whatever, and homegrown vegetables that she had canned, and that we'd have a traditional Christmas dinner at noon. We called it dinner. People now call it lunch, but we called it dinner.
I can't remember if I got any kind of gift, it's just mostly, the other food, with the stockings and the candy and the fruit, yes,
We didn't get any Christmas gifts except this. But I remember our mother always had a good Christmas dinner, and if I was guessing, she probably had a big a sweet potato pie for our dessert. Christmas morning, our parents would get us all together, and there was 6 of us kids, and they'd pass out a sock, usually full of fruit. It might have 1 apple and 1 orange and a banana and some nuts. And after they passed that out, our daddy, he would always come up with us kids some candy. So he went uptown and he'd buy a big stick of peppermint candy. So that's what all of us kids ate.
And then there was always a little paper bag about that tall, about 9 of them sitting around the tree that had an apple, an orange, nuts, Christmas candy in it. And that was a highlight of our morning, besides playing with our toys. There were so many of us, sometimes we had to share gifts. So me and my sister Gloria, we shared a doll one year, and it was a Betsy Wetsy doll. And it had the diapers and the bottle and everything, you know, and we could just give it a bottle and change the diaper, whatever. And we shared that gift that year, and of course the boys, they had to share their gifts too. They might get toy pistols with caps, you know, to shoot or whatever, but we always had to share. Whatever we got, we had to share with another one of our brothers and sisters.
The shoe boxes where you buy your shoes, we keep them shoe boxes at Christmas time. We didn't have no Christmas stockings, and we just set the box out. And the next morning, if we got up and had an apple and an orange and a few nuts and some candy, you would see some happy kids.
But if I could go back in time, I would have a bicycle. I always wanted a bicycle.
And you never got a
I never
bicycle?
got one.
I enjoy it more now because, you know, I have kids, you know, and it's just enjoyable, you know, when they come over, you know, the young kids, and, you know, and I enjoy seeing them being happy.
Showing people that you love them and care for them.
We still have Christmas, all my brothers and sisters. One of our sisters passed away, but we always try to make a point for all of our brothers and sisters to get together on Christmas Day. And we still have that tradition that we have Christmas together, at least on Christmas Day. All my brothers and sisters, yeah. And we get together and we sing and we talk and we have a traditional dinner, and we share gifts and we share our love, and we make sure that we're thankful for the greatest gift of all, and that was Jesus, our Savior.